Well, hey everybody, I am going to walk you through a couple of upgrades, but I wanted to give you some advance notice on something. I'm going to give you two videos. One is going to be today with some upgrades on the inside air conditioner vents and also the outside hood vent, okay? Video number two that's going to follow this is a visit at Airstream Nuts and Bolts. And that is with Ronnie Dennis. I think you're going to be impressed. So without further ado, let's get rolling. Okay, so let's talk about the problem. The problem is, first, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is broke. The screws are stripped out. So they're holding it, but not good. Wendy wanted to say something.
It's not just the screws are stripped out, they're too short. And as you travel down the road, they get lost. They jimmy themselves out, and then they...
Jimmy out.
Yeah.
What's Jimmy out mean?
I don't know. It's something that Jimmy does.
Okay, so Camp Air. Camp Air sends you some real nice instructions. Comes in this little handy-dandy bag. You get a wrench, box, whatever, and this catches the giblets that you're drilling out. Has these thumb screws, okay? This had the drill bit and it had the drill bit here. You see they're numbered. Can you see that? And that's what that looks like. And then you have these little jack nuts or rivets or whatever they're called. I'll show you how that works. And then you get this little device here. And I'll show you how that works in a minute. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, so these are all the parts. I got my little jack nuts. You can see the sheet metal screws that came out and the screws that I'm going to put in. They're quite a bit taller and threaded. Therefore, they stay in place better. And I got my drill on my drill bit, and off we go for the next vent. Okay, so we probably need to move the rug because this thing catches everything. And then Wendy has a bowl. So what's going to happen is I'm going to drill this, and she's going to catch the giblets that fall down, which really...
Why aren't you using the thing that came with the box, in the box?
Because it's a piece of crap.
Okay, there we go.
And I can't really see where the drill is in the hole.
You should show them.
So just real quick, I want to show you. So this has a number 6 on it. So you got the top part, the second part. I'm going to the second part. The directions that come with the packet, very, very clear. So we're going to come up here and just slowly drill that. So now I'm going to keep going. Show you how long it takes. Take your time, don't overdo it. And now that's the big hole that we need. Can you see that? I'm going to turn the air conditioner off so the metal giblets don't fly up in the air conditioner. Pretty simple. Now, just to show you how many giblets fell in the bowl, okay, that'd be none.
Well, you know why? Because you had the AC on and it was getting sucked up.
It was sucking up in there. So when we're sleeping at night, they're going to be coming in our eyes. Okay, that time we caught a few more giblets because the air conditioner was off, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just going to change the drill bit. This is a very snappy drill bit. It came with a kit, by the way. I'm going to pop in the other little tool that they provided. All right, and we're ready for the next step. Screw goes through this bolt. Can you see that on the video, Wendy?
Yep.
And the bolt has a little hex head on the end of it. Can you see that?
Yep.
So I'm just going to screw this on, finger tight. And we've made the hole larger, and the hole is as large as this area that has grooves on it, and because that's kind of fat, so the hole's got to be fat enough to fit this jack nut. And then all I'm going to do is take the tool that came with this, again that's a hex head, put this on there, and believe it or not, I'm just going to tighten a little bit, and this area that has grooves in it is going to widen, and when it widens it's going to stay in the hole. Now,
What's that do?
Wendy mysteriously brought this wrench into the picture, and it's going to hang on to this nut to keep this nut from turning. And as you turn the screw and the nut does not turn, it will widen this jack nut. It's actually, it sounds complicated, but it's not. Okay, so like I said earlier, this nut's gonna go all the way in. So you see it went all the way in, and then Wendy's gonna put this, you could do it by yourself. In fact, Wendy, let me see if I can do this by myself.
I found that the other side is easier to use.
Okay, well, let's see. And then I'm just going to tighten this down a little bit. You see that's flush up against the top. And it'll kind of stop. It feels like it's tight on the drill. Okay, so I'm just gonna unscrew it. And the jack nut is nice and flush, and that's where the thumb screw or flathead screw is going to go. So these thumb screws, honestly, they're very easy to work with. So again, if you like them, keep them. They come with a kit. Again, we got the sheet metal. Now this is the 20 millimeter. What's nice about the jack nut, notice it just lines up really easy. How long does it take to screw it in? A little bit longer than the thumb screw. We'll give you real time on this. And you can tighten it down pretty good. And I just think that's a cleaner look. Which one do you like? Thumb screw or a flathead screw? It's your choice. You know, I don't know what kind of vacuum cleaner you use, but we used a little Dyson, and got the little rotating brush on. Wendy, show them where we charge it. So, oops, hold on. Yeah, so we just have an open spot here, and we just plug it up. We don't hang it. There's no need to do that. And then we just slide it back in there, and she's ready to go all the time. Add the extensions. The other extensions and things are on the other side of our twin beds. And this thing does a killer job. This is an old Dyson, but it still does a great job. All right, Wendy. Let's see how dirty this thing is. Woo, man.
That's nasty.
So, Wendy, how are we going to clean this? Dry?
Yeah, I just clean it dry.
Ooh. I thought we ran a pretty clean ship, but to be honest, we're not emptying this thing as often as we should because it's a hassle, right? Yeah. And now the whole purpose of this was to make it easy so that we clean them more frequently.
What you doing now, Tim?
Oh, Wendy, you know what? I forgot to video this, and I appreciate you pulling this out. We are going to swap out this vent pretty easy. These are stainless steel screws. Looks like they're coming out pretty easy. They're short. Might be able to use the same gasket, but the new vent has a new gasket. So we'll see.
And what's the new vent?
The problem is this is plastic and these locks break. That's the problem. Great vent. Looks good, but it's broken and the flap doesn't stay locked down. Here's what we got. We've got the new vent. This is the bottom. Okay, it's all stainless steel. And it's got the stainless steel little latches so they won't break. And then we've got the plastic one. Kind of, it looks kind of metal, but it's not. But here's what I want to point out is they had caulked it. And this is the rubber. Now this rubber seal, very sticky, is thicker. This rubber seal looks like, well, you can see it's not very thick. And then it's got a hard back on the back of it. This stainless steel one doesn't have this back. So I'm gonna let this seal ride out a little bit to seal it, but to play it safe, I'm gonna take a little silicone caulk and we're going to add a bead right in here. Kind of like that. Because the last thing you want is water penetration in your Airstream. Get that corner good. Make sure these corners are good. One more little bead here, it's not thick enough. And you're only gonna have one chance to put this thing on. So what I did is I started some screws in it to line it up because I won't be able to see the holes. But once I know these are lined up, I'm good to go with the rest of them. Hopefully they'll all line up, and I'm sure they will. Okay, so we're gonna line this up with the first screw. And I'm gonna drive her in a little bit. And I'm gonna line this one up. Drive her in. Okay, so what I basically have done is I've put all of the screws in place. Honestly, starting it by hand so I could feel that it went in there. None of them are tight yet, so I'm going to carefully torque them down, not to over compress this seal. So with the silicone and the seal, you can see how the seal goes beyond. I think I'll be waterproofed quite nicely. All right, so there's the finished product. You can see the gasket's not perfect along the way. I'm not too concerned about that. Wendy just turned it on. Seems to be venting. Can you hear it? Nice. This has a little lip on it too, to catch whatever, I guess. Looks good. Wendy, nice wind test.
Yeah.
Then I think what I like about this the most is it has these metal locks that slide down and lock it. I don't know if you can see that, but I like that. So it's just, and it looks good. Wendy, throw away that plastic piece of crap. You know, as I have always said, if an ex-insurance agent can do it, you probably can too. Wendy, let's take one. So I want to tell you that if you haven't bought one of these, it's got a little red light. This thing, how long has this been charged?
I don't know, but let's kill the bugs.
Anyway, look at that. You just kill, it's amazing. Wherever you go, look at it, look at it. See it lightning. Look at that. Look at that. It's a great way to kill them. Get them to fly.
Hey, there's one right here.
Look at it, see, you can hear it. It's crazy. So, hey, if you haven't got one of these, it's not a commercial. We don't sponsor. What is it? It's Zap. It's called Zap. It works.